The madness is starting to rear its head.
Much better, that's the main thing.
I don't know what's going on. It could be terrible. I feel like I've gone slightly mad.
Day 3, I'm feeling fantastic. Haven't felt so good in a long time. I feel like I've escaped from jail. I actually feel guilty at how happy I am.
Today is day 1. So my mission is to liberate myself from the internet and use it as sparingly as I possibly can while running a company. Have you gone completely insane? Maybe I am a bit insane, but here's the thing. Why am I doing this? My job as a creator is to create things, to think deeply, to do high-level work. And what has been happening to me, if I'm radically honest, is that I've been trying to get some work done, then get distracted, work again, getting distracted. I can't think properly, I'm not getting enough sleep, my meditation's not as good as it should be. My whole life, frankly, has been going downhill, little by little by little, the more I spend time online. So the only way I'm going to get out of this is to do a proper challenge to hold me accountable to actually do it. And I'm going to share with you exactly how I go, what challenges come up along the way, and what I learn. And hopefully you'll be inspired. Let's get started. In case you're wondering, how am I managing to stay in touch with people? I have a light phone, one of these. So it literally only does phone calls and text, nothing else. So here is the rules of the game. For the next 3 weeks, I am going to, number 1, only check my email twice a week max. I'm going to set up an autoresponder so that people understand what I'm doing. Number 2, internet is going to be 3 to 4 hours max. So I have to really think what I'm doing. Number 3, before I use the internet, before that thing gets plugged in, I need to have a list. I've got my list of stuff that I need to do online. Otherwise, you know exactly what happens. Whoa, what about this? What about this? Number 4, offline 5 days a week. So I'm going to be completely offline, no internet, 5 days of the week. And finally, number 5. No browser tab. I end up with all these browser tabs and I'm jumping between tasks and it's really messing with my brain. So I'm going to only do one thing at a time until it's finished. These are the rules of the game and I'm going to let you know how it goes. Well, it's day number 2 and I got up much earlier than usual. I always get up early, but even earlier. Got to the beach early, and I'm feeling some shifts already. Some of it's a nice shift, some of it's a little bit unpleasant. One of the things that comes up along the way is when we pull the plug from all these distractions, we can start to feel our feelings and noticing the things that need to change. I'm sitting here editing this video. It's day 2. I've got my list of stuff that I need to do online. Part of me is like itching to check some stuff, you know, to distract myself. But it's very, very interesting. Just 2 days in, and the madness is starting to rear its head. Yes. It's day 3. Day 3, I'm feeling fantastic. Haven't felt so good in a long time. I feel like I've escaped from jail. I actually feel guilty at how happy I am. It's amazing how just not being involved in the internet and all this extra nonsense and entertainment and like getting caught up in it all. God, I just feel so good. It's like another life. I think the reason I haven't been doing this is I feel so good when I go offline that I actually feel guilty that I'm having such an amazing life. I think I'm trying to like punish myself on some level by getting involved in things unnecessarily to appease my guilt for just being so joyful and happy. So day 3 is going good so far, baby. I'm cleaning out the car. There's no way I'd be doing this right now if I had the internet turned on. Not a chance. Oh dear, here it is. It's day 4. I've been feeling so good, getting better sleep, feeling happier, feeling more creative, having great ideas. But the time has come. Oh dear. I feel trepidation, honestly, because I know that I'm going to try and do 1 or 2 things. I've got my list. I'm just going to try and do this, but what is probably going to happen is I'm going to get distracted by all the other things. It's like walking through a casino to try and get to your office. So I'm going to try and do it for 5 minutes at the most, to just do the most important things and unplug it. And you can watch whether or not I pull it off. I've got the clock here. Let's see if we can do it. It starts to feel like this weird thing after a while when you haven't used it. I'm gonna check the news briefly. Yeah, immediately just getting in this, I feel a sense of my nervous system reacting. I don't notice it normally because I'm involved in it, but I notice like a certain stress energy. Most of it is just people informing me on things that I don't really need to know about. It's nice to send people blessings. Yeah, it's the fragmenting of it that I'm realizing is the problem. It's not one thing multiple times. It's one thing and then another decision and then another decision, and that affects this and this affects that, and then it's going to do that thing. I can't do this because of that affects me, and they're not around. That's, I think, what leads to the problem. Anyway, I can't do this anymore. I think that's enough. Yeah, what's next? Well, day number 5. I feel a little bit frazzled after the internet. It really is a lot harder than I like to think it is, and I'm still going to have to figure out a way of making it work. Well, sending you lots of love, and it's going to be a great day. I'm starting to feel slightly antsy and wondering if my website's alright, you know, if something's gone wrong, if everyone's okay, if I'm missing something, if someone's upset with me that I didn't get back to them. You know, this like lack of knowing. I don't know what's going on. It could be terrible. That sort of feeling. It's not a major thing, but it's at the back of my awareness. I'm like, just want to just quickly check, make sure everything's okay. But that, unfortunately, that interest in doing that leads to this ongoing thing that's screwing up my life. So I'm just going to have to fight it a little bit, let it go, and trust that everything's all right. Alright, so everything's going well. I've been on the internet more than I like, frankly. But I've been getting out a lot more, and I now have lots of new friends who I've randomly met on the beach, which is nice to meet people in real life, real people. So things are going well. I'm going to pull the plug now and get back in the game. Day 7. Didn't spend much time online yesterday, and as usual I feel so much better. It's amazing, absolutely amazing to me, the effect. I'm focusing on higher things,
and not on tedious details. That's the difference. Yeah. Gosh, it's day... I don't even know what day it is, but I failed miserably in being offline this weekend. As soon as I go on there, there's just like a million things to do. At this point, I know what I want, but I'm not sure how to do it, and it's going to take as long as it takes. But I do know that it doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel quite disturbed. I don't want to blame my emotions on the world outside, because I'm in charge of how I respond to things. And at the same time, if I have a choice, then I'm going to figure out the way of doing something that is not harmful to my well-being. So I'm going to unplug the thing again. Here's the internet cable that is plugged into the Wi-Fi. I've unplugged it. I'm going to turn it off. I've got my autoresponder on. And it's a beautiful new morning. I'm going to go to the beach and see what can be done to simplify, refine, and make everything better. Gosh, it's such a different feeling. It's so fresh, so refreshing. The humble truth of the matter is that I am actually unable to think at the highest level, think clearly, be productive, feel good, take care of my health, take care of everything if I'm constantly checking all this stuff. I actually genuinely, if I'm honest, can't do both at the same time. We're back in the game. It's Saturday, my internet day, and I'm feeling good about it. I had to go online yesterday as well because because you know how it is. But I'm getting lots of great ideas, great insights, lots of inspiration about new things. Very inspired. Here's the shocking truth. This is the shocking truth. If the internet is plugged in, right, then literally I am incapable of not checking something, because there's always an email to check, literally always something to do, and it's never going to stop because people keep sending me messages and there's always things to happen. I've got loads of projects working. The only thing that actually works, I've realised, and I have to just come to terms with this, is that the internet has to be unplugged and put in a cupboard somewhere. It needs to be properly unplugged, and I need to not be using it. If I am able to turn that thing on and check something, I definitely will, because I have 100 reasons in my head right now. Oh, what about this? What about this? This thing here, I could just check. This person's waiting for me. So I'm literally not going to be able to pull this off as long as there is internet around, and that's just the way it is. I don't have the willpower to not do that. I just don't. I've tried, but it hasn't worked. So my experiment has essentially been that when it's turned off, then I'm fine. When it's turned on, then I check it. It's quite as simple as that. And I can't see any way around it. So there it is.
I feel like I've gone slightly mad. I've I was online Saturday, Sunday, today's Monday. It's too much, it really is. I feel like I'm literally, like my brain is, I feel like I've gone slightly insane. I'm going to go to a beach where I can watch these huge waves, really big waves, and I think that will help. I'll do another video, see how I feel when I get back from that. I'm going to get going. Slightly, mildly insane. Day 17. I can't believe the time has flown. There's 110 reasons why I need to go online and check things. It's never going to be convenient to be offline. It's kind of like expecting the whole world to change for me. It's not going to happen. You know, I might think that the sun should come up at a different time and it should set at a different time and the clouds should be a bit different, but that's not going to happen. It is what it is. I think I was always thinking that hopefully one day I'd figure out a way of making everything work and it would be really smooth and there wouldn't be any conflict and I wouldn't be feeling a little bit anxious about it and it would be fine for everyone else. And I had this idea that there's kind of this perfect situation, and I'm coming to realize that that doesn't actually exist. And it's going to be an imperfect situation for the rest of my life probably. And today, day 17, I'm thinking of actually taking a whole day off, not going online, not doing any work, just sitting on the beach.
This is the sort of thing I'd be missing if I was sitting around on my laptop.
I've just spent the last 2 days being online way more than I'd like. My brain hurts. I realise it's actually a proper addiction. As I'm drawing towards the end of this 21 days, I realise that I consistently go unconscious, spend too much time on the internet, come out feeling drained and tired and sort of spun out. What it comes down to is I actually have interest in a lot of things. I'm interested in the news. I'm interested in new movies and art and stuff. You know, I create a lot of videos and content. I'm curious about what other people are doing. I mean, there is an interest that I have, there's no doubt about it. But then I get caught up in it and then I feel bad afterwards. I feel spun out. I was talking to someone the other day and she was realizing that she had this experience recently where she left her phone in the car by mistake and went for a walk and realized how much better she felt already just by not being around it for like even an hour. And I said to her, well, why don't you try 3 days? I find when I do 3 days, I feel like my head is cleared and everything feels better.
Day 3, I'm feeling fantastic. Haven't felt so good in a long time.
And she was like, oh, because it's so hard to get away from it, it needs to be acknowledged that it's a form of emotional dependency and addiction. It's a real thing. I don't like to think of myself as an addict, and I think it's fair enough for me to humbly admit that I actually need help. Unless I have structures set up to help me avoid it, I'm very, very likely, I mean, let's just be honest, I will definitely get pulled back into it. The problem is that it's a bit like food, you can't say I'm never going to eat again. I've had this thought, what would happen if I was just never online at all? it brings me joy on one hand, and then part of me goes, this is completely ridiculous. You run an internet company, you have to upload things, you have to look at websites, you have to check content, you have to... I'm wondering if there's somebody who could be my liaison to the online world. It would actually bring me joy. It would bring me joy to say to be able to say to people, I never use the internet personally at all. Check it out. I wonder if it is practically possible for me to never personally go onto the internet. Very interesting. Dan Kennedy is a marketing guy. He's never used the internet apparently. He's never been on Amazon. He never uses email. Right? He runs a company. I wonder. It's yet to be seen. I just opened my laptop from when I shut it last time, and I realised that I literally have 23 tabs open. One of my rules was not to have any tabs open. 23, and then I have a whole bunch of different browsers, different things. It's out of hand. I'm really looking into genuinely going to try and find somebody who can manage my online life for me, so I'm never online. I'm going to really see if it's possible, practical. I'm looking into it. It feels good. Well, it's been about 5 months since I shot that video. As you probably noticed, it's been a pretty major failure all round. The only thing that is consistent is that I feel great being offline. Then I have reasons to get back online, then I get caught up in it, then I feel bad, then I get off it again. I actually did try to hire somebody to help me out with this. And it didn't work. It just didn't work. It's so complicated, so many factors, that actually getting out of it is, I don't want to say impossible, because life is full of possibilities, but it's not been resolved, let's put it that way. So the conclusion to this video, if you've stuck with me to the end, is that the only thing I can tell you for sure is that with my best intentions, I still get caught up in it. And the only thing that works is turning it off and putting the actual internet out of the house for extended periods. That's literally the only thing that works. But I'm still trying, and I still spend a lot of time offline, and I feel great. So if it wasn't for being offline, I wouldn't even be editing this video. So there is my messy experiment, and hopefully you found some amusement and possibly some useful insights for yourself. Much love.